On the 1st of October, 50 of the leading voices in sustainable tourism came together on Nikoi Island to better define their vision for the future. This year, Indonesia, my home, was hosting the long-run annual members meeting. The ideas that emerged from the meeting can lead to a very real change. This farm, for example.
I joined one of the long-run meetings about 5-6 years ago in Grotbos. Had an amazing farm. And that totally inspired me to come back here and set up a permaculture farm for the islands.
You know, everybody gets together in a very informal way, and they're all sharing ideas and what each one of them is doing, and without any ego. There's a lot of humility in the long run, and it's so good to see that.
Providing a space for people to share ideas can produce incredible solutions. Like, how can we more effectively reach others with our message?
The Uberuma residency is built on the concept of home of change. So we're very interested in the act of hosting, and a lot of our artists respond to this theme.
The 45-degree angle. Yeah, it's a good idea how the hospitality industry can working with the artists. Sometimes we need artistic thing to express the idea, to set the message to the other. Artists can be significant role to make a change. We can use art as like a tool for education, or tool for send our message. Yeah.
I try to educate people about insects, but through art. The way dung beetles move around is with the constellations of the sky, of the stars. Is it the one that looks a bit like Elvis Presley upside down? Yeah.
When you lead like an ecotourism or like a resort, it's so cool because it's not like a school, but like a temporary school. It's like you don't have to come in and sit for like a month to learn about something. You come in for 5 days and you learn something. That's just the best kind of tourism. Right?
When somebody comes to a resort, they're often in quite an open space. They're traveling, they're relaxing, you know, and I think a lot about the natural environment can facilitate their openness to creativity, to childlike, you know, possibility thinking. I'm gonna come over to here. Where are you?
In Kenya.
Where in Kenya?
Nairobi.
You're in Nairobi. And what are you experiencing in your body?
Love, the warmth, the sun.
If you have found yourself in the place that you call home, notice the emotions that come when you imagine yourself at home. And I'm gonna invite this half of the people, so maybe from you over, to walk slowly over to this side of people. Choose a person that you would like to bring to your home. And bring them over to your home. And tell them something about your home. From what I understand of the long run, the kind of emphasis is ultimately on hosting. And so I can see that these are people that are like deep into the art of hosting. And so I thought by starting with the concept of home and kind of bringing people back to their own notion of home, that we would kind of cut past the veneer of professionalism, which can often block intimacy, right? And go straight into kind of storytelling together. Yeah.
We've been trying to build a lab station, a science lab station, but seeing today how art gets you involved in the circle, that was like eye-opener. We need to include artisans into the equation when you put science and research.
Actually, the insect one was really clever with the artist on that front, entomology, because we actually don't really get stuck into the insect story at all. And that side of things, I'm just thinking, okay, there's a missing level of the puzzle layer that we need to fill in, and that is something we can do. We've learned from that one as well.
Often, the way we share information is as important as the information itself. Art can leave a lasting impact on people. So can a good story.
We talked about our newsletter that we've started and how we're writing it. It's coming from me, and we've personalised it. And one of our rules with that is that we're actually not trying to sell the business. We talk about travels that I've done to other places, other long-run properties, and so that's a great way to make connection. And indirectly, we're reminding our readers about us as a business. Juliet Kinsman has always this mantra of tell, not sell, and I quite like that, and that's always in the back of my mind when I'm writing this, is that it's about telling a story.
Well, actually, I have a lot of work to do after these storytelling sessions, and because, oh yeah, I need to pack kind of stories, what to tell with the customers and everything. So I think that's also beneficial for me. That's it become improvement too, like a personal skills as well, and yeah.
What's the first story regarding the farm that springs to mind that you wouldn't think you want to?
I will talk about the soils and then how we work with the soils and everything, and then what story behind it, how they're living below ground. That's how we are going to do that. It also fascinates me the most about this, how these biologicals in the environment help you to provide these like healthier soils. I think I want to help that part to to regenerate, something like that.
What I find most fascinating is actually what goes on behind the scene. And to meet a person like Henry you become so engaged and interested in things that you normally wouldn't pay attention to. Henry first said soil, you're like, yeah, but it's soil. Of course it's just things that grows in the soil. But when you hear Henry talk, it's like mind-blowing. But as you say, when he's enthusiastic about soil and showing it, you become interested also. You can easily show Nikoi and sell Nikoi as an island, but what really should be sold is the values, the soil and what is being done.
4 years to get like this size.
Chempudek just excited me because bamboo is such a beautiful material. It's probably the most sustainable material you can find. You know, it's a very creative use of bamboo, and then that got me connected to it.
This is a black soldier flies. They help us to make it the compost from the cooked waste. We have a suggestion from the long run for make this one, so we say thanks for everybody. And we have benefit also from the maggot. The maggot can use for feeding the fish, chicken, pig, something, because have protein, around 42% protein is quite high.
From Nikoi to be able to do something like the black soldier flies are doing, that was the bit that really blew my mind.
I took them through an exercise that we ran with our staff about embracing setbacks as a way to move forward. And we had them make a piece of pottery that represented their hopes for the future.
So this is a hand. I've chosen the left hand because it comes straight from the heart. And it's the hope that we will give a hand to each other always and help each other, no matter the background, the circumstances, without judgment, because everybody's fighting their own battle and we don't know, and we cannot read that. And I've put a heart because it really has to be a genuine hand coming from the heart.
The knowledge we've gained from coming together, from sharing, from listening, is fabulous because it invigorates you to go back and do more.
So in order to make this sustainable, we have to go the long run. Our purpose is bigger than even Buena, and we want to be able to make it for the long run.
I think the long run to me means a community where you can exchange and where there's room for error. I think there should be a space for openness, for learning and sincerity, and I think that's what the long run is about, because we share failures and then how you can get from that failure to progress.
Building a community committed to questioning together and asking deeper and deeper and deeper questions is a beautiful vision, right? And that you can hold each other in support, but also accountability, right? As you navigate those questions in each of your own contexts. To me it's like a community of practice in some way. So it's very exciting and inspiring.
In simple words, it's what the world needs now. The sharing panel, the breakout sessions are the best for me because that's where you get to pick specific points, specific ideas from specific people. People otherwise you wouldn't meet. Yeah, you meet them here. So the long run has made all that possible and easy. Yeah.
Being here in person and sort of really understanding the depth of knowledge that these people have, building these wonderful spaces, these eco-lodges, I think has really been mind-blowing. Yeah, I think it's not the same when you read about it in text. Like I can sense that this is a group that really listens to each other. They're extremely sensitive and wanting to really sort of embrace different possibilities. Yeah, so I think for me that's the magic.
Something like that.